Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Emboss or Toss. I will be trying to think of a theme tune for this. I feel like this would be the perfect kind of series with a theme tune. So stay tuned for that. Yes, I've heard you loud and clear. I have seen the comments, and I do think it's time that we bring about a new episode of Emboss or Toss. Things are going to be a little bit different in this episode, so grab yourself a hot drink or a cold drink, anything you want to drink, cozy down, and shut the fuck up. I'm talking. So usually I use my old crusty ass spreadsheet that is really, really shit. And I do a random number generator and I pick a book from there that is on my physical TBR. It really does help me to pick books that I may not have been able to pick up otherwise. You know, books that I'm not reading for vlog projects or anything like that. So it's a really useful series for me. And then I read whatever comes up and then I use my embosser if I end up liking the book, which means I'll keep it. And then I will toss or unhaul if I don't like it. And if it is a book that I'm unsure about, it will be in Limboss. And maybe one day I will revisit the Limboss books, you know, the books in limbo, and decide what I'm doing with them. So me and my gorgeous friend Allie are working on a brand new spreadsheet for Emboss or Toss. While I say we are working on it, Allie's doing all the work, of course. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that spreadsheet, I thought what we could do today instead is use a spin the wheel. I mean, groundbreaking, absolutely groundbreaking. Florals for spring, groundbreaking. So let me go over to the computer. Let me tell you exactly what I have in mind today. So for this spin the wheel, I decided to pick a book on every single shelf in this room. Well, apart from a couple of the really top ones. And I picked a book from each shelf that I'm, one, either the most interested in, or two, it's a book that's been on my TBR forever. Three, could be a sequel to a series I've been meaning to get to. Four, I've picked a book that starts a series that I have lots of books in that series for, but I just haven't started the series, so why the hell do I own those books? And five, I just picked books that I wanted to read, okay? So that is essentially how I've done this. So I've got, well, actually as well, I've got some books on here that's on my 25 to read before the end of 2025. So Les Miserables, I really genuinely hope I don't get that in this, but would it just be hilarious if I did? So you're probably wondering, then why the hell did you put it on there? Because it's funny. It would just be hilarious if that came up, honestly. So yeah, also Watership Down is on my 25 books to read in 2025. So one of the reasons why I picked a book from every single shelf in this room is because a lot of my shelves, if I just read one more book, then that shelf will turn green. So essentially, if you've seen my shelf by shelf audit, I have a percentage for every single shelf. And if it's under 50%, the shelf is red. But if it's over 50%, then the shelf is green. So a couple of these will change that around. A couple of these will make a shelf green, which I think is really cool. So I will keep you updated on that. Like if one of these is picked and it does help make the shelf green, I will, you know, keep you updated in this vlog. Some of these I've just had on my TBR for so long. So like You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, I've had for a while. Scandal and the Unicorn Thief, I have all the books in that series, but I haven't actually begun that series yet. And same with Can't Spell Treason Without Tay, I have the 3 books, so I also chose that. I've got When the Wolf Comes Home on there as well, because that's a book club book for the book troop very, very soon. But yeah, I just pretty much have a random mix of things there. You got young adult, middle grade, adult classics. So that's how this episode of Emboss or Toss is gonna work. So without further ado, let's do the first spin. I'm so excited. Actually, before I do that, let's shuffle. Let's do a bit of a shuffle. And oh my god, Luminous is right at the top. Hopefully with it being right at the top, it means that's not going to get picked. Like, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't have put this on there. This whole episode should be about books that I'm the most excited to read, which I am, but it's just like not the time. It's not the time nor place for Les Miserables. Anyway, I've been recording for far too long. Let's actually do the first bit. I'm so scared, but also so excited, but so scared. Oh, thank God. Whoa. Forgot I changed the alert sound. The Island. The Island. Where is it? Oh, it's literally right behind me, so I don't even have to get up. That's beautiful. The Island by Adrian McKinty. I got this when it first came out, and it's been a few years now. And this is a thriller written by the author of The Chain, which is the book that I've heard the most of. I've heard very mixed things about it. So in this one, we follow Heather, and I believe this is set in Australia, and she marries a widowed doctor called Tom, and Tom has 2 kids, and they don't really get on with Heather. There's actually a remote island that has a few tight-knit locals on it, and then when this family come onto this island, everything seems to be a little bit wrong there. Oh, I love it when this happens. A shocking accident propels the Baxters. Oh my god, like Raven Baxter from That's So Raven. Now I'm just going to picture Raven, Corey, Tanya, and Victor. That's what I'm going to picture now, reading this. But yeah, shocking accident propels the Baxters from an unsettling situation into an absolute nightmare. Oh, and if I do so recall, I believe my friend Katie from Katie Colson has read this. And I think it's been that long that I can't remember what she thought of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm really happy this is the first one that came up and not Les Mis. It could still come up because I'll use this spin the wheel again after I finished The Island. If you end up enjoying this video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's see if the first book for this video will be embossed or tossed. And see, this is where, if I had a really catchy theme tune, this would where it would begin. I am currently 4 hours deep into a Patreon reading sprint right now, and I am 138 pages into The Island, and I know it's not going to get embossed. It's definitely not going to get embossed. I don't like the writing. I don't like the characters. Can't stand the characters. A lot of it is done very poorly, in my opinion. However, I am eating this story up. I really like the plot. And even though the writing is not good, in my opinion, I hate the dialogue of the characters. Can't really stand any of the characters, in all honesty. I still can't wait to find out what happens next. You know, like, it's one of those stories where, and I don't mind this for thrillers, I don't mind if I don't like the characters, but it's one of those stories where it is all about what is going on. It is all about, like, how these characters have gotten into this situation and how they're going to try and get themselves out of it. And things have happened that are very exciting on paper, but in this paper, the way that Adrian McKinty has wrote it, it isn't written well. It's just not. Like, that's my opinion. I find the writing to be so incredibly rushed. The way that's written, it just feels like we're trying to get from, like, one bit to the next. There's no dwelling on anything. For example, when Tom and Heather are making love, she stripped and he stripped and they fell onto the bed. They made love for the first time since they left America, climaxing together as sunlight streamed through the shutters. Heather rested on Tom's chest. And then it just, like, continues the scene. And that's just, like, one example, like a spoiler-free example that I could give you of just very direct, in the moment, let's just speed this along kind of writing style that Adrian McKinty has. And the dialogue, these characters, what they come out with, they keep doing things and having these decisions. I'm just like, a real life person would not be saying these things or doing these things. There is no believability with these characters, honestly, but it's a thriller. And at the end of the day, I don't really care as long as I'm kind of entertained by what is actually happening. And yeah, a lot of messy stuff has happened. The situation is just progressively getting worse. And I, again, like, can't wait to see what happens next. Also, part of the story, like, where they're staying at, the Baxters, they're staying at St. Kilda in Australia, in Melbourne. And that's where I stayed when I was in Melbourne. So I ended up doing a little Google map search because the actual address where they're staying in is mentioned. And I was only, like, down the road from where they're staying in this book. You know, when I stayed in St. Kilda, like, literally just down the road. And I'll show you on the screen as well just how close I was. And I just found that quite interesting. I really like that connection that I have with this story. And the Australians are written so stereotypically as well. Like, it's really annoying. I'm not even an Australian. I'm not from Australia. But it's getting under my skin now. The amount of times they're saying, like, bloody and mate. And just, I know some Australians will say that a lot. But when I was in Australia, and I was there, well, only for a few days really. But when I was there, it just didn't come across that way. And it just feels like we're forcefully being shown these Australians in a certain way. And it's just to reinforce the idea that these are Australians. So there's no dimension to any of these characters, unfortunately. And I just don't like the descriptions. Well, there's a lack of description. But whenever we do get something, I hate it. So for example, there is a character called Ma, and when we first get introduced to her, she comes in and she's just described as like a powerful woman walks down the stairs. And I'm just like, I don't like it when an author tells me a person is powerful without showing me how they're powerful. Like, you can't just have that introduction just be, oh, a powerful woman walked down the stairs. So yeah, this is the actual line, so I'm not bullshitting. A powerful woman in pink slippers and a pink dress is making her way down the stairs with the assistance of a stick on one side and a little girl on the other. Why is that the description there? A powerful woman in pink slippers. What about this scenario has made her powerful in that moment? Why is this the observation from the narrator in this moment? She could be a powerful woman just in terms of like her status and her influence and her power in this family, but she's just simply walking down the stairs in her pink slippers and a pink dress. There was nothing about that is making her powerful. You know, it's just like, keep that kind of powerful indicator of this character for a time when she actually is powerful. Show me how she's powerful. Don't just tell me that as she's just walking down the stairs. Like, a lot of this book just is coming across as too direct and obvious. And I don't like that. But again, I can't stop reading. I really want to know what happens next. I want to know what happens to the characters and how they get out of it, if they even get out of it. So, like, I'm conflicted. Have you ever had that where you literally can't stand so much of the book in terms of like the writing, the characters, none of that, but you were still drawn in by the story and the plot? Like, sometimes I do just need a really good, juicy plot. Everything else can fall on the wayside as long as the plot is keeping me invested and I want to continue. Sometimes that is well needed, and I feel like the island has hit me at a right time for me to want that in my story and not care too much about the writing and the characters. I mean, I do still care because I've just complained for the last like 8 minutes, but still, I could have DNF'd. I could still DNF, but I won't because I want to read on. So yeah, we'll go back to the sprints now. Hopefully next time I talk to you, I'll have finished it. It's genuinely reading so fast and it's not even that long. Finished my sprints, and I didn't quite finish the island during the sprints. I ended up having to read some more after I finished, and I didn't really have that much more to read, and I flew through the rest of it. There are a lot of pages, and I could tell Adrian, if you're watching this, I can say right through you, I could tell that the more that he was writing, he would bump up the page count by just having one-word sentences all on different paragraphs. So it ended up becoming really, really quick to read, which can be effective in a thriller. And okay, like, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this book. If I told you the story from beginning to end, you would be like, oh, that sounds like such a fantastic thriller. Like, I love all of those story beats that you mentioned. All of those scenes sounded very, very exciting. There's not a dull moment, and yada, yada, yada. It would come across as such a good story if I told you everything that happened. But the writing was so poor. And also, if the characters would just be quiet. Like, if this was a silent movie, you know, where none of the characters talked, this would be epic. It would be so good. Very fast paced. So many different set pieces as well, especially when Heather is out either looking for water or she's trying to lead the dogs astray with her scent and stuff like that. There was quite a few exciting scenes like that. My cats are going crazy behind me. Boys, do you mind? Are you fighting? Do you mind fighting right outside the door? Hey. Do you mind, can you go downstairs and fight, please? I don't think you can see them, can you? Do you mind, can you go and fight downstairs, please? Oh, damn it, I don't remember what I was in the middle of saying. But I found myself rolling my eyes nearly every single time someone spoke. It was almost like the dialogue was picked out of AI because it just didn't sound believable. It didn't sound right. And obviously I'm not accusing anyone of using AI to write the dialogue of this book, but it just didn't come across very well. I would say an adaptation of it. Some of the scenarios in this were downright scary, but not as scary as most of that dialogue. Anyway, I am going to end up giving this a 2-star, and those 2 stars are really just for the plot and how exciting it was. But whether I'm embossing this or tossing this, I will be tossing it. I'm not going to be keeping this. Even if I had given this a 4-star, I feel like I probably still would have given it away because it's just not something I would reread. Which always begs the question, why do you buy thrillers then, Gavin? And honestly, I don't really. I don't actually have a lot of thrillers on my TBR that I own. I'm more likely to loan a thriller from the library than actually buy it. But this one, when it came out, signed by the author, looked good. I went for it. Can't blame a girl for trying, can you? Right, it is time to spin the wheel again. And I'm a little bit scared. Do I hear one of my cats? They're fighting again. I'm probably going to fight this Mac if I get Les Mis Rob. Like, why did I put it on there? Why did I put it on there? I should be so excited to spin this, but I'm so apprehensive right now. So, we're going to find out what I'm reading next. Let's do it. Why, at the end of that scream, it sounds like she's having an orgasm. Oh my gosh, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was so close to being the Lamb, which I would have loved to have read. And Bat Eater, actually. I would have loved to have read Bat Eater. Oh, Les Mis was all the way over there. It was like never going to get picked. Don't jinx it, Gavin. Oh my gosh. This is so lovely because I will be able to read this in one day. I read this in one day too, actually. But this is so small. That's only 74 pages because after that it is The Bottle Imp, which I might as well just read as well, actually. So it must be 2 short stories in this. So yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is going to be my next pick, and I will start this tomorrow.
Hello. Oh, hello. 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 Are you okay? Oh. Bye bye, beautiful. Bye bye.
So I am in my bedroom and I am currently without a bed for good reason. Firstly, we've got Ash and Toby just lying on the blanket and the mattress topper. They honestly love lying on my bed, so without it actually being here is not good for them. They will sleep on my bed all day, every day. That's what they do. And so they're just doing that even without the bed here.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. And so are you.
So I'm disturbing them being in here. But it doesn't matter because I wanted to wrap up what I thought of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have managed to finish it, did my personal training this morning, and then my mum, sister, and brother came to take my bed and mattress. And I have had that bed for only like about 3 years. When my friend moved in, I don't know if you remember this, but when my friend temporarily moved in, when I lived in the other place and I moved into my library room, so I didn't really have a bedroom, I got that mattress and bed while I was doing that. And I got them very cheap because I couldn't really afford to get like a really good mattress or bed. So honestly, I was due a brand new bed, brand new mattress, everything. So that is coming tomorrow. I have a new bed, new mattress coming between 9 and 11 a.m. tomorrow. But my mum, brother and sister took the bed and mattress so that I don't have one tonight. So I'll just have to sleep on the sofa tonight, which is fine. It does mean that I have all this space ready for the new bed and I cannot wait. I need a really good night's sleep. I was lying in bed like midnight last week and I was just so uncomfortable. And I was like, why am I living like this? Sleep is so important and I need to sleep and I need to sleep well. So I ended up getting a brand new bed and mattress. So anyway, yeah, it has been a little bit of a busy day. It's like 5 p.m. now and I could have done so much more today, but obviously had family around. But yeah, 75 pages of this flew through it. I will say this is not one of my favourite gothic classics that I've ever read. I definitely prefer Dracula by Bram Stoker, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, My Love the Italian by Anne Radcliffe, Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, one of my absolute all-time favourites, and The Monk by Matthew Lewis. These are all stories that I just genuinely love. And I know it's kind of a little bit unfair to pit this with those when these are like full-length novels. And this is really just like a novella. But even then, I feel like it might be the storytelling aspect. I did like this, by the way. I did like it, but it was one that I was bored by at the same time. And I think it was mainly because of the way the story was told. And I think also because you go into this knowing the trope, or at least the motif of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde being the same person, like that split personality kind of thing that's come from this story. So obviously it's going to be impossible to go into this without knowing that sort of reveal at the end that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are the same person. So it does take away some of the suspense. You can absolutely overlook that and just get yourself lost in the story. But I just wasn't really the biggest fan of the way the story is told. Predominantly our narrator is Mr. Utterson, and everything is told to you almost in a like very detached kind of account of like things that have happened. Mr. Utterson is a lawyer, and he's also enlisted the help of Mr. Enfield to find out like what's going on with their friend Dr. Jekyll. And so this is a story mainly told through them. And I don't know, I just couldn't really connect. And it is very hard to connect to classics anyway, because it was written in a totally different time. But again, I do have some genuine 5-star favorite gothic fiction that I do kind of connect with. I will say, I think this is more on a metaphorical level. I feel like because it's exploring the duality of someone and how that can represent you as well, like the things that you hide, the things you repress, and how that can affect your day-to-day life, how that can overwhelm and overtake you. There's definitely a lot of modernity to it that I feel like you can still apply to your life now. I don't think I'm in that kind of mindset where I want to connect the dots and make this sort of commentary on social issues of today as well as back then when the story was first written. I don't think I have the brain capacity for that right now, but it was still a very fast read because it is so short, and there were still elements of the gothic in here. It was still very well written when it comes to letting you see what it was like in this time period. I think that was still portrayed very well, and I'm always fascinated by how Victorians lived, what the setting and the scenery looks like. And yeah, I think there were some good building blocks to that in this story, but I kind of wish it was written in a different way, which I'm gonna be such a little bitch in this episode of Emboss or Toss, because I said pretty much the same thing about The Island by Adrian McKinty. I was like, this is a great story, I just hate the way it was written. And I think similarly, I have the same issue with The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was a good story, but I didn't connect with the writing style. Wasn't a big fan of the whole account feel of it. Felt a little bit more cold to me. So I didn't really feel that immersed when it did get to the atmospheric parts. And then there are a couple of chapters at the end where it's more epistolary. So that was fine. Actually, I kind of preferred the last couple of chapters over like the first 8 because the format changed up again to be more of a like a letter format. So things felt a little bit more personal and I enjoyed that a lot more. But it still wasn't perfect, still wasn't great. So I'm going to give it 3 stars, and I am still going to emboss this because I have a lot of the Penguin English Library books and I do love having my little collection on that shelf. And I do think this is a good story. And I think if I wanted to, I could try and analyze it and pick it apart more and explore the themes and the duality of man, the things we repress and this, that, and the other. There's so much that you could do with this story. I just don't want to do it this week, okay? So it's definitely one that I still want to keep. And I am a superficial little bitch for having this on my shelf, mainly just to keep the Penguin English Library collection going. And I don't actually really have all that many, honestly. I mean, I do have Dorian Gray and The Monk in this edition. Oh, and I would actually still love to read Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I haven't read that before, have I? Maybe I did when I was a teen, but I can't quite remember. But yeah, I would love to read Treasure Island still, even though it's from the same author. Am I going to leave you two alone now so that I can spin the wheel again? Eh?
Oh, look at your cute little face.
Okay, time to spin it again. What we're going to get. Ooh, Interesting. I believe I just watched my friend Gabby read this in her recent reading vlog, The Lantern of Lost Memories by Sanaka Hiiragi, and I have been really interested in reading this because I picked this up when I was in Iceland. It is healing fiction. So there's a guy called Mr. Hirasaka. He has this photography studio, and then I think it's when someone dies, they come to this photography studio and they have so many pictures of their life. And the people who come to the studio are allowed to kind of go into one of these photographs and relive a moment from their life one last time before I think they pass away forever. I think that's what this is about. So they have one chance to go back. And I don't think change anything. I think just to experience what it is that they experienced that time. You know, maybe it's a memory that has kind of faded away with time and they just want to relive it for whatever reason. I feel like this could get a little bit emotional if it's anything like Before the Coffee Gets Cold and books like that. Finished my third book in 2 days. This Gav is on fire. Yeah, and it was good. I liked it. It's, again, I need to actually correct myself as well on what this book is about. So the people who are the focal points of each chapter do die, and they have to pick a photograph from every single year that they've been alive. So the first person in the story is 92, so she has 92 photos, and there's one photo that's a little bit more faded. And when a photo is faded, it usually means that memory is one of the more revisited and one of the more important memories, and they have the opportunity to go back in time to that moment so that they can retake the picture, but also like relive kind of that moment without being able to change anything. It was really good. Like, I really like the concept of it, and I enjoyed all 3 stories actually. This is the thing with like this kind of fiction where you do get it in like little bite-sized chunks, and you do follow different characters every single time. Well, apart from the main guy who is like the guide for them when they come to, well, after they die and they come to his photography studio. Apart from him, like everyone else is different. And so you don't really get to, you know, spend too much time with the characters, but you still get a little bit of insight into them. And each chapter is quite emotional in their own ways, like some more than others, of course. The last chapter was pretty heartbreaking. Some of it was a little bit tough to read, but overall, I think it told a really good story, like a really good human story, where you see how your life is affected by these moments in how it can change your life, but also not just that, but like how you fit into the world, and whether or not you think your life was purposeful or not, there is always purpose to be found. I love themes like that. I love exploring stuff like that. The writing was absolutely fine as well. It did what it needed to do. It conveyed enough emotion that I got rather invested in each person, but it wasn't like overly descriptive, wasn't overly flowery, but definitely the best written story so far in this video. I mean, technically, maybe Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is like the best written technically, but from a personal standpoint, I think this was my favorite written story so far. So I'd be giving this one a 3.5 stars. In saying that though, I won't be embossing this. This was a read it once and that's it kind of experience for me. So this is the thing with Emboss or Toss. I emboss on a book by book basis. Sometimes a rating doesn't indicate whether or not I'm going to emboss it, but sometimes it helps, like especially if it's like 4 or above. But I think if something ends up becoming like 3.5 or lower, then it feels like something I probably shouldn't keep and unhaul them and give them to someone else, because I would rather do that than deface the book by stamping it. So I'm definitely going to give this one away. I'm going to donate it, but not because it was bad, just because it'll be on my shelves and it will just collect dust now. And yeah, I think it will be better in someone else's hands now. Probably one I should have borrowed from the library, but when I was in Iceland and I saw this, I got a little bit excited. So forgive me. Glad I read it though. Glad I knocked that off the TBR. Also, I am downstairs on my sofa with my blanket and pillows, getting all nice and comfortable. I do want to spin the wheel, but I cannot be bothered to go back upstairs, turn the computer on or anything. So I wonder if I can do it on my phone. Haven't tried on my phone yet. And I want to find out what I'm reading next. I don't want to start it tonight. I feel like I'm all booked out today. I want to watch something. I don't know what. I'll pick a movie and stuff. I'll let you know what I pick. Even though this week is going to be filled with movies, because on Friday, the brand new Fiestry comes out. Fiestry Prom Queen. So I'm doing a Patreon movie night on Friday. And on Saturday, I'm going to the cinema to see Final Destination Bloodlines with my friends. So excited. So excited. I was doing a Final Destination rewatch. I rewatched the first 3 a couple of weeks ago, and then I kind of stopped. I don't like the 4th one all that much. I do like the 5th one. So I might rewatch the 4th one maybe. And then go into the 5th one, and that'll be my Final Destination rewatch done before seeing the new one. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. Okay, let's see if I can do this spin the wheel. Oh man, I don't think I can. No, nothing's coming up. So we're gonna have to go upstairs. I can't get it up on my phone. I'm sure there is a way of doing it, but I'm obviously not smart enough. Let's go. Right, we're gonna shuffle. We're gonna do a bit of shuffling. Okay. Don't know what I fancy. We're just gonna go. Just. Oh my god, it's a graphic novel. It's a graphic novel, which is going to be so easy to read. This is being very kind to me so far. I don't want to jinx it. I have no idea what this is about, so I will read it first, and then I will let you know. So yeah, The Magic Fish by Trung Nguyen. I will be reading next. Oh, it looks like it's in it. Oh, different colours. Different colours. There's purple. There's like a red, orange. Kind of, I have no idea. It seems to alternate. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no idea what this is about, so I'll read it first and let you know what it's about. Again, won't be reading it tonight, but I'm so glad this is my next pick. We're going to be flying through these reads, but again, I don't really want to jinx it. Should we see what Ash and Toby think of the new bed? Should we? Ash, are you coming to see your new bed? Especially since it's actually going to be their bed more so than my bed. Are you coming? You coming to see the bed? And you can see the bed too. He told me to give it a few hours before putting bedding on. He also said I shouldn't let the cats on for a little while as well, but who pays attention to rules, huh? Not me. What is it? What is this? Is this your new bed? Tobu? What is? Tobu? What's this? Ash, what's this? Is this in your bed? Haven't even tried it myself yet. Oh, that's comfortable. That is comfortable. Yeah, I like it. I like the new frame as well. Tobu, do you like it? Do you like it? Are you going to go on? Also, there's like a little gap underneath as well, under the bed, so the cats can explore and have another place to chill out if they wanted to. My old bed didn't have this. Is Ash under there? Hello, beautiful man. Is this going to be your new favourite place? Going to be great when it gets really warm in the sun. Really comes out and gets hot. Be a nice cool place for them. Look at you. Are you already having fun? Are you already having fun, are you? Yes. Yes. Oh, he loves it. Where's Dobu? You're supposed to go on the bed, not under it, silly. Look at Ash's little butt. Since the men came early enough, it means that I do have time to just go to the gym. It's scalding hot outside and I was about going to the shower and I was like, you know what, why don't I just work out first and then go in the shower? That sounds about right. But I wouldn't be able to go today if the men who came to do the bed came later in the day because it would have been too late. But it is only like 10 a.m. now, and I still got the whole day ahead of me. I still need to start the magic fish, but I made my pre-workout and I'm about to go down. Ash and Tobu haven't even gone on the mattress yet. They've been under the bed so many times. They love it under there. But the mattress itself, still a little bit unsure about. So I'm going to let them have the house for an hour and a half and like let them crack on. I might actually bring this with me because there is a cafe in my gym. So I might bring this with me and start it there. Maybe read all of it there. Maybe. And I do apologize if you get sick of hearing me talk about, you know, going to the gym and doing personal training and stuff. In the very first episode of Emboss or Toss back in November, that was the week I started training for the very first time. So it just feels a little bit awesome that like 6 months later and 4 episodes later of Emboss or Toss, I'm like making more progress and I'm still doing it. Just a little pat on my own back that I'm still sticking it out and, you know, I feel better than ever. So while we are embossing and tossing, we are also gym bossing as well. And I think maybe through Emboss or Toss, you will be able to see the progression and everything. But like, please feel free to skip when I talk about fitness and stuff, because I can imagine I'm getting boring now. But this is awesome. It's a pre-workout shake in my Costa reusable mug. A scoop of watermelon pre-workout and a little scoop of creatine. And we got ourselves a bloody lovely pre-workout shake. I ended up reading all of the magic fish while I was at the cafe in the gym. And oh my gosh, I had to stop myself from sobbing a couple of times. Look, that's a very macho place. If you had me being the talking gay guy at the gym crying, that image of being macho would have been stripped from me. No, honestly, it's such a lovely, lovely gym. The atmosphere is so good. But genuinely, I had to control myself a couple of times because, oh my gosh, so many sweet moments in this. We mainly follow Tien and his mother, and they kind of take turns talking about these fairy tales or like going through this fairy tale. And I freaking love the way that this book is structured, this graphic novel is structured, because I love the way it just like kind of slips into things. The yellow is a flashback to the mother's memories. The blue is the fairy tale, and the pink color is the like present day talking about the fairy tales and reciting these fairy tales to each other. So I just absolutely love how this was structured, how it all kind of blended in, and it was just so seamlessly done. The way that the themes of a fairy tale would really speak true to what is going on in real life with Tien and his mother, the stuff that Tien is going through. Like, this is LGBTQ+, by the way. I totally forgot about that. I knew it picking it up like 5 years ago. I knew that, but as I went into it today, I totally forgot that was a part of the story. And I loved it. I loved it. And I loved the way that the mum changed the final fairy tale at the end too. Because yeah, one of these things is that when you give a fairy tale, or when you say stories to someone, that can change over time, and like over years, that story can become yours. And yeah, just like the way it was done was just so wonderful. Seeing Tien struggle and that like identity kind of crisis that he was going through was again like another really wonderfully done aspect to it. I almost don't want to emboss this so I can give it to my library and have someone read it who really needs this, but I am a little bit selfish. I am embossing this, but I promise I will buy another copy and I will donate it. I will donate it to the library because I freaking need this in that bloody library, let me tell you. And I just love how the first two stories were like very Cinderella-esque, like those were the kind of stories about it, and then the final story was Little Mermaid, and again just like how relevant it is, and the struggle as well is like being immigrants and how that itself can be like they're on this trajectory, the way that's woven into like Cinderella, for instance. And yeah, just like the root of family and how that's explored was just I freaking loved it. And it's only just over 200 pages essentially, and it was so wonderfully impactful. But just looking at, you know, some of the illustrations, it's just freaking gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It made me a little bit giddy as well, seeing Tien and his crush in the way that makes him feel. Oh, that was so sweet. Oh, also, there was mention of Matthew Shepard, and Matthew Shepard was killed in October 1998. It was like one of the worst hate crimes, something that's definitely stuck with me, and something that I mentioned recently as well in my Stephen King episode 5 video, because there's awful hate crime in it, and it reminded me of what happened to Matthew Shepard, but it was written like 10 years before that happened to Matthew Shepard, because like hate crimes, it isn't just Matthew Shepard, of course, but like I think this specific reference to him in this kind of helps you to see what the political landscape is like, but also like how people treat gay people and the attitudes towards them, and why Tian is so scared to say who he is. Like all of that really helps, but I do find it so utterly bizarre that I did read 2 books where, like, well, Matthew Shepard was mentioned directly in this, but also I was thinking of Matthew Shepard when I was reading it. So that's a lot. That is a lot. And it does make me upset when I think about it. And this book made me upset a couple of times too, but it also revived me, and it was just, oh, it was so wonderful. I can't believe it took me 5 years to read it. I'm giving it 5 stars. Giving it 5 stars, of course. It's got to be a 5-star. Just absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, back to the computer. Let's see what I'm reading next, and then I need to go in the shower. Okay, let's spin that wheel. Oh my god, I get to read a sequel in this video. Oh, I literally just read the first book recently, and I've been so excited to dive back into the Crowns of Nyaxia series. So we have The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. Yeah, I recently did I've read nothing on the shelf reading vlog. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. And I read the first book, and I gave the first book 5 stars. I was so entertained. I was so thrilled. So many twists at the end left me so wigless. And I was like, I need to know what happens next. I didn't know what happens next, and I wasn't sure when it would pop up again. I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to fit it into a video, but I'm actually going to fit it in this video. Oh, I'm so happy about this. It is long, though, so I doubt I'll get this finished today. I also want to try and film a video today, so it's like 587 pages. Oh, wait, that's a glossary. Oh, there's a bonus chapter. 578 pages. Not bad at all. I'm so glad I'm going to get to a sequel while the first book is still so fresh in my mind. And that 0% shelf read, oh, that percentage is going up and up and up now. You can see the Shire set is still in my kitchen. It needs to move. Shouldn't be in my kitchen. It doesn't belong there. But I genuinely have nowhere else to put it. I built that in my 24-hour timer reading vlog. And yeah, that was nearly 2 weeks ago now. And I still have nowhere to put the frickin' Shire. So I thought I'd do a little cheeky update in my kitchen, because I am now 236 pages into The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I haven't even told you what the Crowns of Nyaxia book series is about. But the first book follows Maurier, and she is like the adopted human daughter of the Night King vampire, and she has to enter this sort of deadly tournament where she meets a guy called Rain, and Rain is the, you know, the broody love interest. And yeah, the first book had such an addicting plot that it just kept me eating it up. It was a big surprise as well how much I enjoyed it, honestly. But I don't think I'm loving this one as much. I think it might be because of the characters. Some things happen at the end of the first book, and a vast character change is, and I'm trying to be spoiler free as possible, a character change is inevitable, but for some reason I feel like Araya, our main character, has become a lot more passive than I thought she would be. Like, she isn't commanding my attention like she did in the first book. The things she's doing, or the things she's not doing, there's things that I'm wondering, like, why aren't you doing that? After what happened at the end of the first, why aren't you doing that? So yeah, there's some things I'm a little bit, you know, confused about. Maybe there's a book between 1 and 2 that maybe I've missed. Please let me know down below. Because I don't know, it just feels like there was something that I hadn't read between book 1 and 2 that's meaning there's a part of the jigsaw puzzle that's missing. And I don't know what it is. And Rain, the kind of love interest, I don't really love him either, to be honest. He also feels like he's had a bit of a personality transplant, which obviously makes sense, but he's kind of a little bit more unrecognizable. And I'm not a big fan of male love interest, male main characters, because we do get his point of view as well in this. I don't love it when they appear to be a little bit too obsessed with the female love interest. I don't know, sometimes that comes across quite creepy for me. I hate it, can't stand it in like Sarah J Maas, for instance. I honestly hated Hunt by the end of like book 3 of the House of Earth and Blood series. or Crescent City series or whatever, because he was just non-stop talking about her and observing her, and I was just, oh, I couldn't stand it. And that's what Rain is doing. Like, he's just making so many observations about her, and I'm just sick of it. Like, I get it, you're whipped, but like, come on. You've got a personality outside of this, surely. I'm still liking, I can't really exactly say too much of what the story is about in this one because of the first book, but I am liking the story. There's a lot more politics at play, a lot more exploration of the character roles in where they fit into in this society. There's a character relationship from the first book that I was worried that we wouldn't get any of in the second book, but we are still getting remnants of that and like more revelations and more things coming to light that is keeping me very invested in wanting to finish this. Like, I'm probably a third of the way through, and it is a big book. It's quite a big one, so it is a task. It's a mammoth task getting from beginning to end, especially when it's definitely one that you don't like as much as the first book. I still like this though. I do still think the writing has this addictive quality to it. It's not like the best writing I've ever read, but it's entertaining. It's popcorn entertainment at the minute. So I think I'm going to continue reading. I don't really have anything else that I need to do today. I don't really have a life right now. So today is a very relaxed day, and that sounds so nice, but there's a part of me that's like, I feel like I need to do something. I need to do something else. Like, I need to, I don't know what though, you know? I have filmed more of my library challenge, episode 2 today, and I was supposed to be filming a summer reading plans and video plans kind of video, like a summer TBR that I was supposed to film today. I might film that tomorrow instead. It's one of those videos where I want to put off as long as possible because it's not a kind of video I want to make. I really just want to make vlogs. All I want to do is vlogs. I hate doing sit-down videos. And talking about my summer TBR, I don't even really know what I want to do for some of the summer, and I feel like everything else you already kind of know. So there's a part of me that's like, don't film it then. But then there's a part of me that's like, I need a video to go up this weekend. Ugh, but I don't want to film anything else today. It's the perfect opportunity as well. I'm freshly washed. My kids are asleep. I feel like I still have quite a lot of energy for it being 7:20 p.m. It's still quite light outside as well. There's no reason why I can't film, other than I just don't want to do it.
I've been
I don't know if you can hear the rain right now, but the rain is coming down very, very hard. And it hasn't been very nice weather-wise in the northeast of England. And I totally forgot to vlog yesterday because I did go and see the new Final Destination film with my friends, and they did end up staying at mine. They've not long really left, so I'm just like catching up on some stuff now. But Final Destination Bloodlines, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. There were some really good scenes. There's a scene with Tony Todd that had me welling up. It was like probably like one of the best acted Final Destination films. I don't think it's quite my favorite just yet, but it is one of those things where I loved watching and rewatching the original Final Destination films. So I've watched them so much more than I have the new one. So I need a little bit more time to know where I would like rank it within the series. But it is up there. It's like a very, very good one. It's definitely better than 4. Like anything is better than 4. I might even prefer it over 5. But it's really hard with the first 3 Final Destination films because I just freaking love that trilogy. It's just so good. Definitely some of the best characters, and I cannot wait for it to come out on streaming or on Blu-ray, and I will pick it up and rewatch it. So yeah, my friends came to mine. I tried to make those frozen strawberry daiquiris. I didn't quite do a good job at it. For some reason, the slushie machine, which I haven't even really told you, I did get a slushie machine just after my birthday, and now I can make slushes in them. I can make frozen cocktails. I can make frappes, which I haven't done yet. And it was the first time I made trying to do a frozen cocktail in it. Didn't quite come out quite right, but I'm gonna have to keep practicing and trying and like doing recipes and stuff for it, because I just put like the pre-mixed drink in it, and that obviously didn't like really quite work. I think I have to like put more stuff in it, but it was still fine, and I will continue practicing. Oh, we watched the new Snow White as well last night, and it really wasn't that good. I want to say with my own eyes, because everyone was saying how terrible it is, and while I don't think it's like the worst film ever, it wasn't good, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. So yeah, just a heads up, I also gave that a watch. But yeah, other than that, I did finish The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King on Friday. It is now Sunday. And yeah, this was good. Like, I'm giving it 3.5 stars, and I will be embossing it. I will not be tossing it because I like having the 2 books on my shelves. I love the look of them. Fairy Loot did an amazing job with these. And like, it just didn't leave me as breathless as the first book. I feel like things were like wrapped up quite nicely by the end of this book, and maybe a little bit too neatly, whereas I think the first book was quite messy, but in a really entertaining way that you couldn't really predict what was happening, and there were so many twists and turns by the end, and just like it was so addictive. And I just don't think this one could quite live up to that messiness of the first book, but it was still like a really good time. Lots of action, which kept things interesting. But when it comes to the characters, I don't feel like I was as invested in them as I was in the first book. I don't know, maybe there was like some kind of, again, like lost in translation moment between the first book and the second book. I don't know, like it just feels like there's something missing for me. And I can't quite put my finger on it. But I believe there are more stories set within this universe that I don't own. I don't think Fairy Loot did an edition of those. So I will see if I can try and maybe pick them up. I think they're just novellas or just like little side stories that maybe also, if there's one set between the first book and the second book, might kind of fill in some of the blanks for me. But it would be nice now to maybe read something a little bit shorter. I don't know if I'm really feeling fantasy all that much right now, but honestly, it's whatever the wheel decides. And because I'm going to my first haunted location tomorrow, which you will see because I do plan on, you know, continuing this vlog until I come back, I have an 8-hour train ride to this location and an 8-hour train ride back. And the book that I want to read at this home location, I don't want to start on the train. I want to read it at this location. So that means I have like 16 hours of potential reading time for my travel. And so I feel like I should spin the wheel twice. I can't be bothered to read anymore today. I'm sorry. Like, how you see my house, it's a shithole right now. After my friends have left, I've got so many dishes. I need to like hoover and stuff. Like, there's just so much work to do. So, I mean, I could obviously do that with an audiobook, but I just don't want to read really today. And I have such a long travel tomorrow that I just kind of want to save my reading mojo for then. So I am going to spin the wheel twice, because then at least I'll have 2 book options to take down with me. Although it depends, like if it's like a really, really short book, like I've got a couple of graphic novels on there still, I think. At least one. And there are some short books. So depending on what, I could end up being 2 or 3 spins, so that I can take those books with me and have them for the journey. But these will most likely be the last spins that I do for this video. So I will continue this vlog for like a few more days, despite filming my very first video for Vlogs of Halloween 2025 over the next couple of days. Or I might only have to spin the ones if it turns out to be Les Miserables. Okay, let's do these 2 spins. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh my god! That was so freaking close. That was so close to my Les Mis. And then when Can't Spell Treason Without T comes off, oh, that was so close. Phew. Oh my god. Oh. Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. I literally mentioned this in my book haul video that will be going up in a couple of hours, that I have the first, second, and the third book, and I hauled the third book recently, and I haven't even started the series, so I was really wanting to start this series because I hate owning an entire series of something, and I haven't read a single one. So I'm really glad this popped up. So yeah, this is a good pick, definitely better than Les Mis, let me tell you. Oh my god, that was so close. That was... My heart's going a mile a minute. But we do need to spin this again, so I tell you, because I feel like I could definitely start and finish it on that first train ride. It's only like 336 pages. So let's just see what the next one is also going to be. Oh god, please do not be limited. Should I do some shuffling? I don't know if that would actually make it worse if I start shuffling. Maybe it's good that the spinner thing is on that right now, because it might mean that it won't come up. Okay, once more. Ah! Yay! Oh my god, that's a great... I had two fantastic spins there, and I didn't want to jinx it as well, but I thought this was a fantastic spin. I have been dying to read this one recently, Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. This one is... Actually, I'll tell you what these are about when I start reading these. I'm really excited for both of these. So I'll read this one first. I'll start this one on my train to where I'm going, which you're going to find out what it is tomorrow anyway. I don't know why I'm dragging it out. And then this one for the train ride home. Perfect. And these are both like pretty short-ish. How long is this one? This one's not even 300 pages. 298 pages. That is awesome. So yeah, I feel like those will be enough. I don't think I need to spin again. I think those will be enough. Oh, I almost forgot as well. The Patreon movie night for Fierce Prom Queen went really well. The film itself, though, not so great. I and a good number of my patrons wasn't the biggest fan of the new Fierce film. It lacks so much tension. I don't think it did a very good job at telling a story. I felt like it was a little bit rushed. It just wasn't as entertaining as the Fear Street trilogy that came out 4 years ago. And so I was like very underwhelmed. There wasn't really that many characters I could root for, which honestly speaks true to a general Fear Street novel. That's fine. But I just didn't think it was overall acted the best or written the best. And I was just, severely underwhelmed. The deaths were a bit boring. There was a huge lack of creativity. And it did feel like it was inspired by other slashers, which is fine, but it just didn't really do anything new with it. It felt a little bit predictable, a little bit too easy, lacked so much tension. And yeah, I'm just rather disappointed by that Fierce Prom Queen movie. So let me know if you've seen it. Let me know if you enjoyed it. And honestly, I hope you did. Like, I don't think it's like the worst film again that I've ever seen before, but it just was disappointing. You know, it just wasn't that great. Like, I'm not rushing to rewatch it like I would the other three films. But I am looking forward to more like standalone stories. I think there's like still so much potential there. But this one just didn't really hit for me. And yeah, I just want to quickly tell you that because I totally forgot to give you my review of it.
Don't want nobody else around me. Just need you right here. You're like the only thing that I see. Crystal clear, and I want you to come claim it. I do. What are you waiting for? Yeah, I want you to name it. I do. Want you to make it yours. It's like supernatural. Skies possess me, but I don't mind at all. It's like supernatural. It's taking over.
I finally made it to the place where I'm filming my very first Vlogs of Halloween video. I have my house Prosecco that I got at check-in. That was like available to me in the room. I need my glass. And yeah, it was a really freaking awful journey. 8 hours on a train that was rammed. It was so busy. I totally forgot today's bank holiday. I'm here for 2 nights. I go back home on Wednesday. It's bank holiday Monday. How could I be so silly? How could I be so silly? So yeah, the train was rammed. I had to wait a little while for a taxi as well from the train station. 20-minute drive to the place I'm at. Yeah, I'm in Jamaica Inn. I already mentioned that I would be here, so it's not really like I'm spoiling anything. But yeah, I am here to read Jamaica Inn. And I did actually manage to finish Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne on my train ride here. Haven't even updated you or anything with this one. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. I love the fact that this is sapphic. I love the fact that we have 2 characters. We have, well, she calls herself Sia to people, which I thought was pretty funny. But her name is actually Raina. And she's like a god to the queen. She is a warrior. And we have Kianthe, or Kianth. I think it's Kianthe. And she is a mage. And her and Raina are in a relationship. And I freaking fucking love that. I loved how Raina was like, oh, she's my secret girlfriend at the start. And then they do like the biggest thing ever that you could do. And that's run away with each other and open up a tea and bookshop. So yeah, secret girlfriend. Okay. But I thought the writing was fine. Like, it was a little bit surface level for a lot of the stuff. And I didn't really like some of the humor too. I'm not a big fan of characters who do a lot of puns. You know, sometimes it's fine. Sometimes I do a good pun myself. But yeah, there was a little bit of cringy humor that I didn't really love. But this was very cozy. I did enjoy seeing Kianthe and Raina open up this shop and like the trials and tribulations they had to go through to get there. Their relationship was so sweet. It's honestly a good job that my 2-year Gavussi drought is over. Yes, that is right. About a week and a half ago, the dry spell came to an abrupt end. I say abrupt, it's been 2 years. And so I don't really hate sweet romantic couples anymore. Because I got some. I got some twice. That's TMI. But I'm drinking Prosecco. I had some rum as well. I thought, I'm in Jamaica Inn. It's a smuggler's inn. It has ties to piracy and stuff like that. Let's have some rum. So I had some rum. And I also had a glass of red wine, which was really nice. But yeah, back on the Prosecco. So I don't hate love anymore. I mean, give me a couple of weeks. Then when it all dries up again, I will resent anything that even remotely looks sweet. But no, I really liked their relationship. I thought they had good banter with one another. I will say sometimes they were a little bit overdramatic. A little bit overdramatic. And I like the stakes of this one a little bit. Like, it's very low-ish stakes because it is kind of cozy fantasy. But Raina is committing treason by leaving, you know, being the Queen's guard and being part of the Queen's team. There's a proper word for it. I don't know what it is right now. So there is like this element of, oh shit, in the background. And there's also things to do with dragons as well. You know, they go to this town where dragons have been, and also bandits as well, have been tyrannical towards maybe. Don't know what I'm saying anymore. But there was a story there. There was still a story there. And I really liked it. I don't know if I really want to emboss it just yet though. I didn't bring my embosser, so I will take it home. I will give this a couple of days and then I will decide whether or not I'm going to emboss it. So it might be a limboss for now. I feel like this is the kind of story where I need to read the sequels in order for me to feel like I want to keep the series, because I don't know if I'm really inclined to keep a story like this on my shelves, because even with Legends and Laddies, which is the nearest title that I've read that's like this, I didn't love Legends and Laddies either. I don't know if like cozy fantasy is 100% my thing, but I do want to continue the series and I don't want to get rid of this just yet. I don't know if I want to get rid of this at all. So I do actually have my friend Victoria from Victoria Read. She did actually say to me recently that the writing in books 2 and 3 are stronger than in this book. And I thought the writing was absolutely fine. Could do with improvement. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that develops. So I don't know, I feel like Limboss, I might emboss it, but give me a couple of days and I will let you know. I will let you know. I really don't fancy continuing the series just yet though. This is the kind of series and kind of genre that I can take in bite-sized pieces. Give me a minute, you know, give me a minute. But yeah, that's another book done for Emboss or Toss. It was so nice to escape into this book, during that awful train ride. I was holding in away for 5 hours because I couldn't move. There was way too many people on the train. They were blocking the aisles. I couldn't move. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. And also I couldn't get coffee. Usually I don't get coffee on a train because I'm like, well, they don't do oat milk, so I can't get it. But then my patrons yesterday, during Once Upon a Time, said, oh, well, why don't you buy yourself a little oat milk, carton? So I did, but I didn't get to use it because there was no coffee on the train anyway. Shit. So it was a bit of a mare getting here, but at least I'm here now. I'm slightly tipsy. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm even going to get any sleep tonight. I'm a little bit scared being here. But you will get more of this place. I'm not going to say anything more about it in 4 months when I upload the video I'm filming here. 4 months. I am so on at this, yeah. I'm just about to check out from Jamaica Inn, and I think it went well. My first video filmed for Vlogs of Halloween, and I think it went well. Can't wait to edit it though, just to see how it turns out. But I did finish Jamaica Inn, and that's a book that I will be embossing. It's currently packed away because, yeah, I'm checking out in like 10 minutes. I will be embossing Jamaica Inn, but obviously it's not really part of this vlog. And just because I'm embossing it, this isn't a spoiler for my Jamaica Inn vlog, just because I am embossing it, it could just be because it's part of my memories here, and I don't want to get rid of it because of what I went through to read it. So it doesn't exactly mean that I enjoyed it, okay? Just saying. But I could have enjoyed it, but I might not have at the same time. So my train is at 10:30. It is currently like 9:10 a.m. And I do want to start Batita by Kylie Lee Baker. This will be my last book of the video, but I am hoping to read it all on the train. It is only 300 pages, so I think it's totally doable. But this follows Cora. She is a crime scene cleaner, and a lot of that stuff doesn't bother her because she's already seen the worst thing possible. She witnessed her sister's murder. She saw someone push her sister into an oncoming train, and the person got away, but the last words that she heard was "bat eater." So I don't know what happens after that. I am in love with this edition of it though, because this is from Evernight. And I am really, really hoping I enjoy this. Because me and Evernight had a bit of a rocky start. I was not loving their original picks at all. And so I did cancel. And then I just get the book whenever it sounds good to me. Like I say a spoiler for what's coming. So oh yeah, that sounds like a great book. And that worked with The Eyes Are the Best Part. And with this, I'm hoping to have another win. I am really hoping the train home isn't packed like it was. Like it's another 8-hour journey. I do have a changeover though, about half an hour into my train ride, so I have to swap trains. But I am really, really hoping it's not as crammed and as packed as it was on Monday. It's no longer a bank holiday today, so I'm hoping, and it's midweek, it's only like Wednesday morning, so I'm hoping that means the train's going to be so much quieter. I can't hold in my weight for 5 hours, like not again. I just felt so claustrophobic, so trapped, and I need to pee every hour on the hour. Anyway, I'll finish the last little bits of packing I need to do, and we're getting the fuck out of here. Take a deep breath, then I get real high, and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on?
What a wasted time. Should have been here on the outside, read the signs. Used to call you mine. Gave it my best, but I don't need one more try. 'Cause baby, I'm all out of hope. Could I find it when I go? Think we're only here to stay alive now. Funny, we ran out of kicks. Now you only make me sick. Think we're only here to stay alive now. 'Cause I know what a waste, what a crime, what a fucked up time. And I should
Guys, I'm in such a mood. I decided to go back to the gym this morning for my first day back because I feel pretty bad for what I've been eating and the lack of exercise I've been having. So I went, and it's been raining, it's awful, but there is like this massive puddle by the train tracks on the way to the gym, and some fucker in a car decided to drive through the puddle while everyone else was driving around the puddle. Some fucker decided to drive through it and splash me. Okay, that's number one. Number two, on the way back, I have to go past said puddle again. And again, some fucker decided to drive through it and splash me. And I'm like dry now. I think I'm mostly dry now. But goddamn, I was livid. I was livid like twice. You're gonna do that to me twice? And I was just vibing as well. I had Shakira on, a little bit of whenever, wherever. I was doing a little bit of this, a little bit of shaking my hips. Just killed the mood, didn't it? Absolutely killed the mood. So I'm going to go back home foaming. I'll have a shower and stuff now. I'll wrap up this vlog because I did finish Bat Eater. And I'm back home with my babies too, which is awesome. But I'm still in a mood. I am still in a mood. So officially, I am embossing Jamaica in by Daphne to Maurier, although you will not hear my thoughts on that in this vlog at all. Gotta wait 4 months to find out what I thought of it, or follow me on Storygraph because I do have my rating on there. Link down in the description box. And also Bat Eater, I have also embossed officially too, because I'm about to tell you what I think of it, the last book for Emboss or Toss episode 4. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I absolutely loved the first chapter for one. It really hooked me in. I also got a sense of Kylie Baker's writing style too. The author loves to personify things. Pretty much everything was made into a living, breathing thing. So for instance, the subway station was like it was bleeding. You know, you get things like that. You get like New York City was oozing pizza grease and stuff like that. It did maybe overdo it a little bit every now and then, but it did mean that this entire story, this entire setting came to life. And I really thought Cora was a very interesting character. I couldn't quite say that I liked her like that much, but like I did find her so fascinating to follow, especially since, you know, she witnessed her sister's murder and what that does to her and what that does to her psyche. And the fact that she has this very dark job as well of being a crime scene cleaner was utterly fascinating to see how messed up she was from witnessing her sister's death to like cleaning things, like cleaning people's blood off the walls and all of that, and the different reactions she has to it. Like, is she dulled by it? Or is it making her worse in the long run? You do really feel like this huge character arc in this story for Cora. One thing I didn't realize before going into this, and I definitely did realize when I saw that the book was dedicated to all those we lost in the pandemic, in saying that the story, well, chapter 1 was set in April 2020, and then we go a few months later to like the rest of the story, I didn't realize that we would be having such a prominent thing with COVID-19, but it obviously makes sense because I had no idea Bat Eater was actually a racist nickname given to a lot of Asian people during this time because of all of the Asian hate and the racism that sprouted from the fact that COVID-19 originated from China. So yeah, a lot of people got so much hate for it, and unfairly so too. Like, you really do see the ugly side of humanity after something like that happens in the way that they treat other people. It's just so awful. And so it was interesting to follow the fact that we had this recurring thing with a lot of the crime scenes that Cora would go to, as well as her two colleagues. And I really enjoyed her two colleagues as well. They had such a good friendship. Like, that wasn't really just a straightforward friendship. It kind of develops as the story goes on. But I really liked their kind of dynamic. But you do see that there is a lot of Asian people who are being killed or maybe taking their own lives. You don't really know or get a sense of that to begin with. But then you see pretty much every crime scene, there is a bat at this crime scene, or like a dead bat. There was one that was taken out of a bath. And honestly, like, the descriptions of it was so like disgusting. There was so many disgusting descriptions in this, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, it made my stomach turn. I could never be a crime scene cleaner. I'm just saying, I could never ever do that. And I feel like maybe Kylie Baker was at one point, because how in the world do you describe it so well? I don't think Kylie Baker actually was. Most likely just researched very, very well into the profession and incorporated it into the story, which I really appreciate. It does really feel like this was very well researched in the crime scene field. But honestly, it just broke my heart seeing the amount of racism directed at a lot of Asian people during this time, because that really does seriously affect our main character, and it just leads to so many heartbreaking moments and scenes. So yeah, it just, it really got me. I was reading all of this on the train yesterday, which was, again, pretty full. I was sitting next to a man spreader, and he was sitting next to me for 5 hours. Sitting next to men on trains. Oh, sorry, let me re-clarify. Sitting next to men. Oh, sorry, let me re-clarify again. Men. But yes, I embossed this. I gave it a 4.5. Not quite a 5-star for me just yet. I don't know what it would have had to have taken for me to give it that 5-star. I just finished it and I was like, that was great. That was a really good story. But yeah, I don't think I really know what it needed to do to get that 5-star. It just didn't feel like a 5-star. So this was like a gut instinct, but I knew straight away that I wanted to emboss it because it is one of the better reads I've read this year. And it's definitely like in my maybe top 10 at the minute, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome, especially to find in an Emboss or Toss episode. And especially since I did actually have a 5-star earlier as well, a 5-star graphic novel. Now, I can't remember the order I read these. Okay, in 8 days, I read 8 books because I started this vlog, 9 days ago, but I finished Barry yesterday, so 8 days. Just to wrap up this vlog. So the first thing I read was The Island, and I am going to be tossing it. And then I read The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I embossed that one. Then I read Lantern of Lost Memories, and I will be tossing that one. And then I read The Magic Fish, which was embossed. And then I read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which was also embossed. Can't Spell Treason Without T is currently in Limboss. I do want to continue the series before I decide whether or not I want to emboss it. Then I read Jamaica Inn, which I embossed, and then I finished the vlog with Bat Eater, which I have also embossed. So that is 5 books embossed, 2 books tossed, and 1 book in Limboss. Don't know off the top of my head what that is in percentages, but I do know this was a 100% success because I got 8 books off of my physical TBR. Hopefully you don't have to wait as long for the next episode of Imposter Toss. Hopefully, fingers crossed as well, I have a new spreadsheet for the next episode. If not, that's fine. We will just keep changing the format up until we get there. But make sure you keep an eye out for more Imposter Toss. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Was there anything that I read in this video that you loved? Anything that I embossed that you're grateful for or not grateful for? Anything I've tossed that you're grateful for or not grateful for? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.